Most people appreciate that links are perhaps the most important factor in getting a page to rank in Google. Search engines see links almost like votes for your website. Each link tells them that your content and your website as a whole is trustworthy, quality, and that they should rank it. But not all links are created equal. Links from very high quality, trusted websites carry much more weight, and not surprisingly, getting links from these sites is hard. So what if I told you that a small creative agency from the UK has received tens of thousands of backlinks from sites like Forbes, Entrepreneur, the BBC, HubSpot, Adweek, the Next Web, and thousands more high-profile businesses, including some of our actual competitors? And what if I went further and told you that the budget for this was basically zero? And what if I told you that this is based on a strategy that you could replicate not just once, but time and time again with similar results? Stick around and I'll tell you everything you need to know. Hey guys, Matt here and welcome back to the channel. As I started to grow my animation agency in the early 2010s, I wanted us to be seen as experts and an authority in our industry. To do this, we created content for our audience, stuff that answered questions, gave advice, and shared our expertise. But of course, you can't write credible, high-quality content without backing up opinions with solid facts. So we used other people's data and statistics in every article we wrote, linking back to the source each and every time, which was often already years old. And that's where the idea came from. Why not generate our own data? We could deepen our understanding of the industry, be seen as leaders rather than followers, and instead of linking to other people's outdated statistics, they could link to our new, up-to-date ones. So in late 2014, we set up a survey through SurveyMonkey. We then promoted it through our email list and social channels, and we managed to gather 251 responses. That became our first ever State of Video Marketing survey, which we released in early 2015, and our idea worked as expected. We could now use our own data in our blog articles rather than linking to other people's data. And just as we hoped, other people also linked to our data, so we started generating new backlinks one by one, day by day. And we were pretty happy with the results, so 12 months later, we repeated the exercise, and the success has just snowballed from there. Including 2015, we've conducted 7 highly successful annual surveys in a row for Wise Owl, and it's helped us build a deeply insightful year-over-year trend data that's incredibly valuable to us and pretty much unrivaled in our industry. And this original data has helped us rack up over 7,500 links to our survey pages alone. And again, it's important to say that these aren't just any old links, but often come from high authority websites. For example, this is a summary of the sites that link to our 2019 data, grouped by their Ahrefs domain rating. 0 is the lowest and 100 is the highest. As you can see, it's a pretty even split with loads of domains in the 90s linking to us. And that's just something that wouldn't happen without this unique data. So why does this approach actually work? Quite simply, it works because the data we've created is new and unique. It can't be found anywhere else. It's topical and it's being actively sought out by other content publishers. So we're providing the bloggers in our industry with the fuel they need to make their articles more credible. And in return, we simply ask them to link back to the data if they use one or more of our stats. As the links came rolling in, we started to see our statistics page rank for some high volume keywords, such as video marketing statistics. And this is a term that every blogger who writes an article about video will search for. This generates further visibility and helps people discover the stats for themselves without us really having to do anything to promote them after the initial push. I see this as a virtuous cycle. We create high quality data, bloggers link to it, we start ranking, more bloggers see it, we get even more links. The more people that use our data, the better visibility we get, and then the more links we get in turn. And we take this one step further. We also use it as a lead gen tool, so we offer a downloadable version of the report in exchange for the reader's email address. So, as well as many thousands of backlinks, we've also had more than 16,000 downloads of our survey reports, ultimately resulting in many new customers down the line. And the value of a link goes far beyond the individual pages too. Our overall domain authority has soared thanks to such a high volume of quality links to our site. This helps boost all other content on our site too, which increases our organic traffic across the board. So if you're watching this and thinking you'd like a piece of this action, well, stick with me for the next few minutes and I'll teach you the super simple 6-step process you can use to get started today to create your own original data. First things first, you need to decide what sort of survey you want to run. What data do you think would make an impact in your industry? What assumptions do you want to approve or disapprove? And are there any out-of-date statistics you commonly see referenced in your industry that you could refresh? We brainstormed a rough idea of what we wanted to find out, and then we created the survey using SurveyMonkey. Once set up, we promoted the survey through our own databases and social channels, but if you don't have a big enough audience or you can't get enough respondents, you could also use the SurveyMonkey audience panel. This is a good solution to consider if you're struggling to generate a big enough sample size through your own channels. Once the data is generated, it's time to create a web page to show off the results. This is extremely important to the overall strategy because this page is a resource that people will link to. You want to make sure the page is nicely designed and make it easy for people to find and share the data. On our page, for example, we use copy and tweet buttons to help people capture and use the data within seconds. For reasons already discussed, it is often a good idea to create a downloadable report that includes extra data and analysis. You should ask people to fill out a form to download it, as this creates a starting point for further conversation, and this could ultimately lead to a sale down the line. How this looks and feels is up to you. For us, we create a PDF report, which gives us a lot of freedom to create a nicely designed document. We then send a link to the report by email once someone completes the short lead capture form. As I'll go on to cover in more detail, statistics often don't require a lot of ongoing promotion, but they certainly do need a jump start. I find a great way to give new data an initial push is to write guest posts on high authority websites. You can find sites that accept guest posts by searching for Your Industry plus Write for Us or Your Industry plus Guest Posts. I also find it's much easier to secure guest post placements on high profile websites when you have unique data, because again, you have something unique and timely to share. For example, many years ago, we managed to secure a guest post on HubSpot for the Wise Hour video marketing statistics. Now, every year when we update our data, we update that post too. But while publishing your data on a third-party site helps you build traction and also reach a bigger audience, it can be frustrating that sometimes people will link to a page that's not yours. And that is a valid concern, but ultimately I think the pros outweigh the cons. Besides, most ethical content creators and journalists will link to the original source as a best practice. The data generated through surveys like this is a goldmine to be used in your own articles and content. It can add real depth and insight to your writing, validating your own opinions with quantifiable facts. It can also dictate your editorial output and content calendar. You can actually start to unpack the data you've uncovered and write whole articles around your findings, and this just empowers you to lead the conversation in your industry. And another way to look at it is that every article is another vehicle to help people discover your data and use it in their own writing. Imagine you've got a massive boulder sitting at the top of the biggest hill in town. If you don't give it that initial push, it'll just sit there forever. But once you've given it the first push, it starts to build up its own momentum and build speed without you needing to take any further action. And that's a really good metaphor for promoting original data. If you don't do any initial promotion through guest posts and optimization, you can't realistically expect to get any results at all. But once you've given it that kickstart, you start to find that the network effects become much greater than any promotion you could do. You can see here that after a big initial push in January, we allow the network effect to take over. So we don't really need to do much else outside the months of December and January to promote it each year. Original research is a straightforward SEO tactic that should be used at the start of your SEO strategy. It'll help you build backlinks, traffic, and authority. You'll find it'll also help you rank all your other content more successfully and position you as an authority in your industry. My advice, get started today, you won't regret it. And good luck. If you found this video useful, remember to hit subscribe. I upload new videos to the channel every week, and all of them are designed to help you improve your marketing and grow your business.